We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. Hello. My name is Chubb. My pronouns are they, them, and this is Phasecraft Collective, your weekly check-in with the tarot to get the vibes, to see what's possible, to see what energy is available to us for the week to come. This is our first official episode of the new year. Thank you all so much for your grace with my little moment of rest that I needed last week. Or if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. This is just a moment to see what we can do with the energy that we have for the week to come. And it's a weird time for a lot of us, for a lot of reasons. And if you are having trouble hanging on to positivity, to hope, to, the idea of planning for a future that is not guaranteed to any of us, just know that it's okay to have those difficult feelings. It's okay to sit with that and hold that. And you aren't alone. And I just hope to be able to offer some sort of, if not encouragement, then navigational assistance for all that is to come in the next month, year, whatever. But with this, we're mostly just looking at the week to come. But before I dive in, just wanted to throw out there that the registration for my winter class series, which starts in February, is officially open. So for my seasonal class series, we usually end with a spell circle. This one begins with a spell circle with Imbolc on February 1st. So we'll be learning a bit about Bridget because it is the goddess Bridget's holiday, essentially. And then we'll be doing a ritual to call her in and ask for her assistance in fueling our creative endeavors for the rest of the year. So that's going to be so fun. Then we're also going to do a class on deity work, on how to work with deities, even if you don't believe in them. That's right, my friends. Even if you are an atheist witch, you can come to the deity work class and learn how to interact with them as archetypal energy in your practice. We also will be doing a class on pop culture, witchcraft and pop culture, which I'm actually so excited about. I love getting into the magic that we see in movies and TV shows and kind of analyzing it and seeing how much of it can really be used in our own practice, which we will then do. We will look at how you can use the magic that you see on TV in your own practice. And then we'll be doing a class on how to use tarot magically. So for a lot of folks, we read the tarot, we interact with the tarot, but taking that next step into a magical practice, a witchcraft practice, can be a little bit like, what do I do? Or maybe you want to start using tarot more in your spellwork practice. That is exactly what the magical tarot class is going to be all about. How to use tarot in your spellwork, in the magic of every day, and just how to, make your entire life more magical. That's what I'm all about. So link to that, all that info is going to be in the episode description as always. I am recording with noise filtering on, but my desk is right next to a radiator and it's very cold outside, so I cannot turn the radiator off or it will freeze. So just apologies in advance for the the inevitable background noise that we have. Actually, let me see if I can turn it down just a little bit. Okay. I'll get a little chilly, but it is worth the sacrifice for your ears. But anyway, let's dive in. Let's get into what the tarot has for us this week. So if you're new here, if this is your first time, we begin by taking a few minutes at the beginning here to breathe and ground to do a little circle casting to set our space to make sure that we are present and ready to receive. So if you'd like, you can join me in closing your eyes. I feel like I'm going to sneeze, so let's just see what happens there. You can close your eyes or let your gaze settle down at your cheeks. Or maybe just let your eyes land somewhere else out in space where they can relax. And wherever you are, just take a couple of breaths. Feel your shoulders rising and falling, your rib cage expanding and softening. And just become aware of wherever you're making contact with the ground, whether it's your feet on the floor, your seat in a chair, your back on a bed. Feel into that space where gravity is holding you, where the earth is supporting you. And here I'll call to the spirits and guardians of the elements, and as I name them, I invite you to imagine their essence creating a circle of protection around you. Maybe a circle of salt or a ring of fire, maybe stones or mushrooms or flowers rising up from the earth. Maybe the ground opening up and filling with water. Maybe a swirling force field of air, of wind. Maybe a combination of these or something else altogether that comes to mind. I call to the spirits and guardians of the north, of earth, of the deepest roots and the tallest trees, of the stardust that gave shape to this planet and to our bones. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the east, of air, of wind and breath, of thought and change. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the south, of fire, of the life-giving sun, the powers of creation and destruction, cleansing and renewal. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the west, of water, of the oceans and our blood, the rivers and our sweat, the rain and our tears. Hail and welcome. We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. You can take a couple more breaths. And whenever you are ready, you can open your eyes. Cool. All right, let's do it. So, the week of January 6th. What a day. What a day to be interacting with the world. Lots of memories on this day. Lots of feelings of disbelief, of shock, of fear maybe. And part of this week is going to be transmuting that. Of course, we're flying right off the table. The cards are. And we're starting with the 8 of Pentacles, followed by the 5 of Swords and the Ace of Swords. Okay. Choose your battles. Choose your battles wisely, which is much easier said than done. Okay, and then a lot of wands here. Okay. This is an interesting combination of cards so far. Tower. The tower has arrived. Thank you for your service. Okay, what a week, what a week. Okay. And that is where we should end. Okay, so as I said, we start with the 8 of Pentacles, followed by the 5 of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. So this week, right now, is when you need to decide and commit to the work that you're willing to do. Because we're all going to be called to do something committed, do something serious, really dedicate ourselves to the tasks to come. We all have a role to play in the future, and this week is really going to be about deciding what you want your role to be and getting to work. This is not like a short-term sense of effort at all. This is a reminder that whatever we decide to apply ourselves to, we need to be willing to give it the time to unfold, to show us and teach us everything that is possible when we focus our energy and lean into the joy of experimentation, of learning, again, of dedication. Because there is joy to be found in application and focused energy. And whatever you decide to apply yourself to this week, this month, this year, know that it will show you something of yourself. It will help you uncover something of yourself that will be a necessary tool to move forward. And that's the Eight of Pentacles. I love the Eight of Pentacles. So then we have the Five and Ace of Swords, right? I already said choose your battles, right? The Five of Swords asks you if you are okay walking away without a sense of satisfaction. This might be, I think I talk about internet arguments nearly every week, and that's just because I do that every day. But are you okay before you even enter into a conversation, an argument, anything at all? Are you okay with not succeeding? I'm saying that in air quotes. Not succeeding in the way that you had hoped. I think now, and I mean, the Ace of Swords here too is like that clarity, that direction, that conciseness with your words. And I think now is going to be a time where we all just have to accept that how we interact with each other and what we choose to focus on in those interactions is going to make or break our ability to experience solidarity going forward. Meaning, what is your focus of the conversation? And is it something that actually will allow you to initiate change in someone's mind and way of being? Or are you just trying to say your piece without any real care of how it's received? And maybe you are. Maybe you just need to get it out there, and that's fine. But if you actually want to create meaningful change in the mind, the life of someone else, how can you be more discerning and more open to how you can approach the conversations? Which might mean leading with compassion. It might mean choosing a different subject than the one you actually want to talk about as a gateway, as an opening, right? Be direct, be clear, but be innovative. Be curious. Be willing to take a different approach. Which is kind of, not entirely, but well, but maybe just blaze in out of nowhere and do what you gotta do with the Page and Ace of Wands and the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands I love, but the Page and Ace of Wands, it again, there is momentum here. There is a lot of potential to get creative with, since we had those swords just now, get creative with the way you want to speak to whoever you're speaking to, but also get creative with whatever that task is that you decided is yours, right? The Page of Wands is also, again, so curious and willing to experiment, willing to try different things, willing to take different roads. This is not tunnel vision. This is expansive opportunity. Taking things as they come and seeing what can be created with them. And then that Ace of Wands energy of that, like, yes, when you choose what you're going to follow, the momentum is there. So follow it. Let it guide you. Let yourself be inspired. Tap into the fire of your heart. Tap into the passion that you hold and use that as your basis for everything that you're going to embark on and do in the week, the month, the year to come. Now, the Four of Wands really wants you to find that sweet spot of momentum and creative potential and balance and stability within it. So this is that reminder not to just blaze forward without boundary, without rest, right? We're looking for the spot where we can really tap into that like creative mindset, that, again, passion, that drive without losing it. Which kind of takes us back to that Eight of Pentacles place where we started, of finding the thing that you are willing to commit yourself to for a long term that allows space for growth and change. Monotony is probably not the way that you're going to maintain momentum and inspiration. How can you keep things interesting and keep enough change going that it becomes stable? Which sounds kind of oxymoronic, but is that a word? It's a word now. And there was just a crash outside my door, so we've got 3 cards left. I'll check it out in a minute. What was I saying? Yeah, finding that place where your inspiration and your passion can be consistent, can stay stable and available to you in the long term. Now, we're finishing with the Two of Cups, the Tower, and the Queen of Swords. And the Two of Cups is that piece of harmony and unity, and it kind of harkens back to how I was talking about approaching things with compassion. Yeah, even when it's difficult, finding ways to connect through the heart when you're interacting with other people. Taco is right next to me and her little claw is caught in the bed. There you go, baby. Finding the connection through the emotional, the heart-led, the human. I'm going to say connection again, but that's not the word I wanted. The ways in which we are alike. Finding the ways in which we both love, we both hate, we both experience emotion, and letting that be the thing that unites us. Because in these moments, when everything needs to come down, that is when that unity and that compassion and that love is most important. Remember that the Tower, it's actually really funny because one of the like older keywords with the Tower is epiphanies, and like today is Epiphany, if you're into that. If you're into that. But that's exactly what this week is for. Opening your eyes to what needs to come down. And I mean, I think that the Tower has showed up for us a lot in the past year because these systems are falling. Look around you. What's happening on social media? What are you seeing in the news? What are people saying? People that are different from you, people that hold different views from you. Are they also feeling a little bit of the instability? The change that needs to happen? Again, where are we connected? Where can we work together even when we disagree on a lot of things? There will always be at least one thread of connection. Where can we find it so that this moment of everything falling apart doesn't feel nearly as insurmountable? And then finally, it's the Queen of Swords. That directness. That, again, ability to choose your words wisely, but not mince them, right? There's no need to shy away from the truth. It's just about finding which truth needs to be communicated from moment to moment and making sure that you're maintaining boundary with yourself, with other people, knowing when to separate, knowing when to step away, knowing when to reevaluate your decision, your approach, so that you can remain clear, so that no one questions what you're about. Let your experiences shape the way that you move next. Yeah. Bottom of the deck. The devil. Finding the balance between the exhilaration that comes from arguments, that comes from the way that we doom scroll, like finding the balance between interaction that is necessary and informative and productive, and knowing when to pull it back and say, am I doing this for the right reasons? Am I getting lost in this? Am I giving too much power to someone who is simply using it to make me feel a certain type of way? Connect to your power, figure out where it's going, and decide how you want to pull it back. Awesome. That's the reading this week, y'all. What a good one. What a great way to start the year. Yeah, there's lots of work to be done, but as long as we keep our eyes on the prize and commit to working together, there is nothing we can't do. And remember all the ways in which those at the top of the tower seek to keep us separated. Unite despite that. Okay, let's end here. Let's go ahead and close the space. So I'm going to once again close my eyes and invite you to do the same if it feels safe and good to do so. Take a couple of breaths, let everything kind of settle here. Reimagine that elemental circle around you, whether it be swirling wind, a circle of salt, fire, plants, stones, water. Take a big deep breath in. As you exhale, release that circle, scattering salt, dissipating air, extinguishing fire, sending water, plants, stones, sinking back into the earth, opening the circle and releasing the energy. I release the spirits and guardians of the west, the south, the east, and the north, sending you back to your place in the natural order with praise and with gratitude. I send the energy of all those watching and listening back to them whole, complete, and intact. I take my energy back to myself whole, complete, and intact. May we remain friends where energies are no longer crossed, corded, or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into you, all yours. The circle is open, and so it is. Awesome, my friends. Thank you once again for being here. Again, check out the registration info for the winter series in the episode description. I am so excited to get into all of that good stuff with y'all. I hope you have an incredible week. Remember to breathe, remember to take care of yourselves, and remember to keep the hope alive. All right, see you next time.